And everybody at home, welcome back once again to the Valorant Clash of Champions, hosted here by Point Out. I'm your host, Blackjack. Tonight I'm joined by Bullet, as we are going to be taking you through the grand finale of this fantastic championship that we have had the absolute privilege to lend our voices to. Bullet, how are we feeling on this fine evening?
I'm way too excited, man. Looking at how some of the teams have played in the couple of days past it. Yes, there was an broadcast yesterday as well, and I got to know about and how the matches were pretty intense, especially for the second and last match that went on for the broadcast today. And it was an unlimited OT, and
Oh,
teams were
yeah.
just going up against every round, another after another round. Also comes down to the fact that now in the grand finale, it is going to be ROG Academy facing at the side of Nonchalant. And talking about the side of ROG Academy, they are a team. They are a very young team which has kind of like shaken up the entire Valorant Indian circuit. They are going up against some of the best players and defeating every one of them out there. But when we talk about the side of National, it's a very newly formed team for this particular event, and they are doing comparably well compared to what I have seen from the side of ROG Academy as well.
Absolutely. Definitely looking forward to seeing what ROG Academy has in store for us. They are a dominant team indeed, but nonchalant. They are no slouches. Well, let's see quickly what the map veto is going to be like, folks. Now, let's point this out here. This is going to be a best of three situation, right? So that means, folks, there's going to be three maps one picked by ROG, one picked by Nonchalant, and one which will be left after the banning is going to be the decider map between these two very, very good teams right about now. And of course, the standard pick and ban system is
Yep.
going to be in play as well. So it's pick, pick, ban, ban, uh, actually, no, it's the other way. Ban, ban, pick, pick, ban, ban, and then the final map is going to be decider. So, and, I think the team that gets to pick first is going to be able to decide the side that they're going on the decider map. But for the other maps, the team that picks, the other team will get to pick which side they start on. With that said, of course, as you can see, the map selection for the current pro circuit of Valorant in your screens right about now, and right off the bat, Icebox has been taken off the board by ROG. It does make sense. We've seen Icebox a couple times in these last few days, and it's been pretty close, all things considered, on that map. So the fact that they don't want to go there totally makes sense.
Yeah, especially I am a little bit surprised because as far as I know, well, I could be wrong about it, but I'm definitely sure that Fracture has also been added in the current Valorant competitive map pool circuit. I'm not sure why it is not included over here. Maybe there will be some changes coming out from the side of Valorant Clash of Champions presented by Point Art. So yeah, I was kind of like expecting to see a Fracture because that map is that maps allows you to some of the make very fast quick rotations coming onto play, especially for the side of the attackers who have a lot of that space around to play. But yeah, talking about the side of Ascent, Haven, Split, some of these maps are all of these three maps are the vanilla maps, and all of the players, all of the teams know the very ins and out of the map, how you want to play around, what kind of like a agent composition and the agent chemistry you just want to play and dominate your team. But talking about the side of Sunset, talking about the side of Lotus Pearl, they are fairly new maps. But yes, I have not seen a lot of teams actually in the higher competition for the South Asia as well going to play on Lotus and going to play their games at Sunset. So I'm probably because as this is a best of three, I feel like either it's going to be Split, Haven, maybe some changes, and we might see the third map, the decider map, getting played on Lotus. But I have a high, kind of like a gut feeling that, of course, a Sunset and Lotus will be pretty much taken out from both sides.
That might actually be the case. Of course, it entirely depends on what is going to be the picks. And we have our first pick, the first map of the night. It is going to be Haven, picked by ROG Academy. I think that's no surprise, all things considered. The two times we have seen ROG Academy in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, they have gone for Haven, so they are going back there. It's a map they know very well. It's a map that they have a very dominating presence on. Let us not forget, 13-6 in the semifinals yesterday. That was the winning score for ROG Academy on the map of Haven. On the
Yeah.
other side, Nonchalant, now, of course, it is on them to pick which map they are going to be going for. They have banned Pearl, and to be expected, as you pointed out, Bullet, none of the newer maps per se are maps that we have seen
Yeah.
some of the top teams in South Asia go for. Lotus, Pearl, Sunset. These tend to kind of get banned, mostly because these are newer maps. It takes time to get used to them. It takes time to formulate strategies. So you want to go for what's familiar. We've seen this in other games before as well. And wait a minute, okay, looks like we have a little bit of an expectation subversion right here. Sunset has been picked by Nonchalant, and ROG return fire by banning Ascent outright. So it looks like we will be having a new map coming in. And Nonchalant, well, that's a very interesting pick, I have to say, because all things considered, it could be a pick for the sake of throwing a wrench in the works against ROG, or it could be that they actually have a lot of hidden strategies on that map. Only time will tell.
Yeah, now it's going to be Icebox and Ace and getting picked out from the side of ROG Academy. Now Nonchalance has gone to just cross out the side of Pearl and Sunset, and yes, the first matchup is going to get played on Haven, and that's going to be the side of ROG Academy. uh, going in for the defensive side, and Nonchalant will be on the attacking side for the first 12 rounds. Sunset is going to be our second map, and yes, Lotus is going to be
Hmm.
our third decider map indeed. So, starting off with a vanilla map, both your teams know the ins and out for the game, and when it comes down to the side of Sunset, yes, we have seen a lot of teams actually from the VCSS circuit, kind of like just kind of like not getting very comfortable with it because Sunset is a map where you have a large area of mid to just get the control of things, to just even make a very slight bit of a rotation coming in But yeah, Heaven starting off, Lotus our second map, and actually on the every other map is going to be the side of ROG to start off with the defensive side, and on the attacking side is going to be Nonchalant.
Oh, yes. So, of course, folks, as we have seen in the last few days, we can have another look at some of the highlights from the side of both of these teams. Nonchalant yesterday, they were definitely really going toe to toe against Zenith on the map of Icebox. And as you can see, they definitely know their map for especially when it comes to Icebox. So I think banning it outright from ROG, that's a move, of
Yeah.
course, that's been practiced. They've talked about it. They know for a fact that Nonchalant have a really strong foothold there, and they'd rather not take that risk of potentially losing out a map. This is a best of three, and once again, could go down to decider map. It could not. It entirely depends on how map one and map two unfold. Of course, there's always the chance that just like I said, a spanner gets thrown in the works and we ended up going to map three anyway. But that remains to be seen. For the time being, folks, we're just, getting everything ready, getting everything set, getting the players in the lobby, and making sure we have the all the right tools for your viewing experience set and ready to go. With all that said, Bullet, it has been a hot minute since I've been on the mic with you, so it feels nice to be back here. We've been back with Baba Gusta for the last couple of days, and for me, it's been a couple of years anyway since I've
The
had my
only
last Valorant cast. So
the
yeah,
the,
it's great.
the only missing puzzle is probably here is CCV, because I know for sure how much of Valorant matches he has casted and been a part
Hmm.
of, like in the year 2023 or year till year 2024. I would say the mid 2024 has been absolutely wreaking havoc when it comes down to being part of like most of the Valorant tournaments that we have seen in the South Asian community, for especially for the Valorant Indian circuit. So yeah. The old kind of like the tactical shooter casting pool is kind of like coming back in Valorant, if I wanna just address in that kind of like a way. But yeah, talking about the side of Valorant, I mean, huge kudos goes to the entire team of Point Out and everybody out there who is coming up with some back-to-back Valorant tournaments. Like this one, Clash of Champions, because there has been a very kind of like an absolute silence when it comes down to the Indian Valorant circuit. There are no tournaments coming up for the tier 2 and tier 3 teams. When I say folks tier 2, tier 3, that's for a fact that yes, for the non-franchise. Because I always believe in the fact that when it comes down to the, especially for the Indian community, when it comes down to the any other game, if there are going to be third party tournaments, when there are going to be a lot of the tournaments coming from the community side, that's only when the community, the players from the community, for the talents from the community, will be able to kind of like present themselves on the bigger stage and get to like just showcase their entire skill set on a bigger level.
Absolutely. I feel like more competitions is always healthy for any kind of esports game, especially in regions like ours here in South Asia, where, the more competitions there are, the more competitive spirit it breeds, and the more competitive spirit we have going around, the more people will watch these tournaments, the more people will participate in these tournaments. And from there, we can get some really good names and teams going for potential international competition in the future. That, of course, we've seen that play out in other games as well. We've seen that exact story play out in Valorant so far as well. And of course, going into things like VCT, it's always fun to see names from our home country, whether they're in the running in one of the sub tournaments. Of course, it's always nice to hear about them going out there, fulfilling their dreams, and making sure to make their region proud as they do so. And of course, whether or not ROG Academy is one of the teams in the future that will be presented that honor, or if it's Nonchalant, whoever it is from the vast majority of teams that have played here today, we will be cheering them on from the sidelines as well as we always have. Now, of course, bringing it back to the Clash of Champions, as we, kind of scroll through all the highlights that have been playing between Nonchalant and,
Yeah.
all the other teams like Fambra and Zenith, and of course, ROG Academy. I think it does bear pointing out that while Icebox has been banned, the fact that Nonchalant were not able to go ahead and ban ROG Academy's most picked map, at least for the last couple of days, which is Haven. Now, we have seen Haven get played and get dominated almost to a certain extent by the side of ROG Academy. They know that map in and out, and they definitely have a really interesting playstyle when it comes to that particular
Yes.
map. And all things considered, the way that they kind of push and pull, right, when it comes to their play style, right? Because a lot of the times you'll see that they play aggressive, they go for kills, they go for really hard entries and brute force pushes. But then all of a sudden, a couple rounds of that, and then they're going to play conservatively. They're going to play reserve, they're going to play on the back foot. Let them think that they let them, the
Yeah.
enemies that is, think that they are not going to do what they were doing just then, lull them into a false sense of security, then strike from the shadows. But with all that said, folks, we're going to have to take a quick break for a few minutes as we get everything set up, but we shall be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Y'all sit back and watch me speak. About to take over your screen. Talking bulls in 93. Talking mom, I'm on TV. Y'all know all I do is me. All I do is me. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and all I know, my money green. About to snap and make a scene. My cup off and make this free. My cup off and make them scream. Go back off for TMZ. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Money long, nothing on credit. I got style, don't catch no feelings. All this bread, ain't got no lettuce. I got style, don't catch no feelings. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, look. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, look. Look, look. Look, look. Look, look. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Watch me. Sit back. Sit back. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the Valorant Clash of Champions. And we are your hosts, Blackjack and Bullet, back once again from the little break. And we're not wasting any more time, folks. We are going straight back into the match. I say straight back. We're going to start the match in just a few seconds right now, folks. It is time for the grand finals, best of three, with the first map coming in right now to your screens. It's going to be Haven with Nonchalant on the attack, ROG Academy on the defense, and we are all pretty much a go when it comes to this first map in this best of three that we are so very excited to bring to you here at Point Out. And, as we've been talking, there we go. There is the map interface. There is the operators, agents being selected. And, of course, it is Haven. It's a classic map, and we're expecting some classic picks. Of course, Nonchalant is the first time we're seeing them here, and I am seeing a pretty interesting pick over there, because normally you'd see Omens, you'd see Ciphers, you'd see, your Jets, your Breaches, so on and so forth. This time, we are seeing from the side of Nonchalant, I think that is Moga bringing in the Phoenix.
Yeah, we do see kind of like a same composition that we have seen from the side of ROG Academy on some previous play day coming in here at the Clash of Champions and as well. And this is like kind of like a big like a very the usual picks that you see. You definitely need one duelist. You definitely need one of the centers. You definitely need one of the controllers to definitely just get onto the put down some smokes and get inside of the side. Hey, now Haven being a triple side-sided map, of course, it gives you a lot of flexibility when you're coming down from the side of the attackers, that you can actually just kind of like divert the attention of the defenders and push to any of the sides along. And you just need to just time out your rotations pretty well as an attacker. But for the side of defenders, you just have to make sure that any of these duelists just not take out two of your defenders, or maybe just just take out one of your early defenders and get inside the site and take the control point of some of the majority areas of the site, especially talking about the side of site A. If they are getting the control of Haven, they'll definitely push down to the site A and get on to that post plant scenario. But now, as the agents are locked in, we go see Phoenix, Cypher, Jet, Omen, and Sova being the pick coming on from the side of Nonchalant, because they are on the attacking side. And ROG Academy now being on the defending side, it is going to be Sova, Breach, Lavish, La Flame, and Omen.
And with that, folks, we are into the map. We are in Haven. It is about to be round one. And the buy phase of the first round. I mean, of course, this is the first round. It's all pistols and sheriffs and so on and so forth. So not a whole lot to be expected in terms of the gunplay or economy. Because, of course, what happens in the first round determines what happens in the next. And so on and so forth. That's one of the many great things about the economy system in Valorant. It allows for a pretty unique way of expressing yourself as a player, professional or otherwise, depending on how your performance in each round goes. And that, of course, feeds into the next. With that said, buy phase is done. We're about to step right into this first round. As we've got utilities going out, and there's back to the Phoenix. Not going to find anyone. It looks like there's an attempt being made to get into the B-bomb side. Garage is held by Lavish on the other side. Cypher with the tripwire. Ready to go. Max holding A long. The diagonal hallway is going to get pushed out because of the double push coming his way. About to be fired. Lavish just about manages to get away.
We see an extensive push coming off right off from the side of Nonchalant to take the control of the mid, and Max to take down the side of Jet, and the double kill back coming in from the side of ROG Academy. Oh, doesn't take the corner. Gonna pay the price for the same.
Spike down mid.
Second one as well. Omen's gonna be the last man standing from the side of Nonchalant, and that's gonna be, I don't know what. That entire action happened in less than 20-30 seconds when both of the attacking side, both of the players from the side of Nonchalant took the decision to kind of like push on the side of side A. The defenders were more than ready to take him out, and this kind of like a split push kind of like didn't work out for them, if you ask me honestly. But yeah, that was a good round indeed from a defending side as well, because we do saw Sova on the diagonal angle of side A getting very aggressive to take one of the early frags against Nonchalant.
Absolutely. They were definitely playing for picks in that first round right about now. Unfortunately, not quite working out for Nonchalant, being a little bit more, I think, early to push right here. They're trying to go towards Garage and B, but Caramel is going to shut down the first one very quickly. Ready with the stuns and the flashes. So hard to deal with. Here comes one tap
enemy remaining.
Yes, it
Down,
is.
C.
That's going to be a 3K, and now it's all down to Gambo. The last one standing, caught in Omen smoke. The smoke isn't killed. The shot's about to be fired. What can Gambo realistically do? Not a whole lot. Max, the silver from the other side, will finish off that mirror match successfully. And with that, folks, let's have a look at the instant replay. As one tap God coming in and staying true to his name, especially on that last kill right there. Bam! There goes Wine Dine. Nonchalant, not starting off on the best of terms.
I mean, if I'm not wrong, this is one tap guard is definitely the same guy because of, yeah, he's definitely the same guy. He has been previously been part of Reckoning Esport. He has also been previously part of like many, I would say tier 1 organization when it comes down to the VCSA scene. And this guy brings out some really tremendous experience and potential when it comes down for the entire roster of ROG Academy. I mean, for the entire team of ROG Academy, they have been filled with some really upcoming young prodigies when you take a look at the entire roster. But yeah, same for the side of Nonchalant as well. But right now they will have a little bit of that trouble finding their footing. But it's okay. The first 2 rounds are pretty much, just the testimonial of how you can actually prove down your mechanical skills, because you don't have the economy to go for those random phantoms and other guns that most of the players prefer to play. So yeah, definitely the real action and the real kind of like a challenge for the both team will start off from the round 3 as well, from the beginning of round.
That is true, Bullet. Round 3. Well, of course, as we know from especially yesterday's game with Fambra. And we are back, folks, to the Valorant Clash of Champions. We're coming back from a little bit of a technical hiccup, but the technical timeouts have been finished. All the little bits and pieces that need to be ironed out have been, and we're going right back into the third round. The pause was already taken as we have ROG Academy 2-0 up. And Nonchalant on the other side are still to get a round. Smoke's out, and we already have a potential push coming into maybe a diagonal, or stay in sight. Shots are fired, the flash is out. One somehow as the fires come on that hallway. Unfortunately, Logan will not be able to do much of that. And gets down instead. Ooh, Flame with one, Caramel with another. With the dash away, Ren manages to get the take back. However, already the damage has been done. It's a 2v4. Nonchalant losing a lot of
Snowman.
quickly. Add Lavish on that. Randy manages to get one
Scanning
in
ahead.
turn, but is it going to be enough? Here goes the recon dart. Ren manages to get Max on the other side.
One enemy remaining.
Suddenly he's been equalized, but no, Caramel has just been sitting in the corner on the window facing B. The spike has planted. Ren, now the last one standing. Here comes the Tremors, and there's going to be 2 players pushing into B big doors right now.
One enemy remaining.
Has to do this, and that's one. Gonna have to get the other one if possible.
1v1.
But just holding it away. It's 1v1. What can Ren do here is the question.
We do see for the side of Omen, he does have a literally play ready.
Oh, my back hurts.
Let that
Everyone's
ease
so
in,
heavy.
and that's gonna be a 4K clutch coming off from the side of Ren, and which was supremely, very much needed for the side of Nonchalant. They just needed to win this round to stop all of the momentum favoring the side of ROG Academy. Again, a very good indeed pick coming up from the side of ROG Academy. The way how Lavish and One Tap Car was just able to stop the stop the aggressive play coming off from the side of Moga and the side of our RMPTW as well coming off on the A side. But right now, proceeding down to round number 4.
Happen, and the shots are fired. Ren with 2 big picks all right off the bat. Max and Caramel have been taken out, and that opens up the bomb side. Got managed to find Moga, and a great shot on the other side. And more shots are fired, but no, wait a minute. Wine Dine comes in, takes down the Omen. LaFlame finding one, pick up their own.
Last player standing.
B-bomb side is where the
Spike
spike
down,
is going to be
B.
planted. No, it won't
Last
be.
player
Lavish
standing.
gets two out of nowhere. And Gambo finds LaFlame. It's now a 1v1. And once again, a flurry of bodies being lost and dropped 6 feet under, leaving these two players, the Cypher and the Sova, as the last standing. Lavish and Gambo, they have to find each other and they have to go for the kills. The spike is on the floor, of course, and that means Lavish has the option of just kind of sitting pretty and not really having to do much. Do they know where the Cypher is? No, they don't. And the face check, unfortunately, will prove to be fatal, and that will cost them their life. ROG Academy, 3-1.
I would say for the side of ROG, for the side of Gambo, he did have the recon card left out. He definitely had the call from his teammate that the spike is like over there, just laid out on the other side of the bomb B section, over to the connecting point between the side of site A and site B. So probably could have used the recon card over there to just get on some of the information coming in, and then just be a little bit wary about it. There's going to be someone in the corner. That was like a very slight bit of that, that error slider coming off from the side of Nonchalant. But now it's going to be a 1v1. We do see Lavish getting scored out from Haven. For the fact that his side, Brand, both goes down. It's going to be an ultimate play coming from the side of Brand. Plant is about to go down.
Spike planted.
ROG Academy. 5 million? What? Flame gets another one. Flame gets a double with the tags of the smoke, making sure there's going to be someone who gets a third. Probably one tap will do it again, but no, he's going to get taken out in the end from the side of Sheriff, and that's going to be a
last player standing.
Smokes are getting ready. Nah, it's going to be the diffuse part going down. Now it's going to be 1v2. Lavish has been given a position, and Gambo will take him out. What a huge round coming off from both sides. I mean, both of the jets are, just both of the jets are just fired up all their cylinders out. What a play coming off from the side of LaFlame. He knew for a fact that there's somebody on the left side when he took an.
Here come the dashes.
One enemy remaining. Spike
One
down.
tap God with 3 taps. Oh, almost trying to make that a 4th. RMB gets one, but gets taken down by Lavish on the long peak on the other side with the Sheriff. And that's once again a really, really quick round right there, folks, from the side of ROGA.
I mean, for the side of one tap God, I mean, yeah, my IGN goes by the name Bullet the Killer or Bullet the Crazy Gamer, which doesn't kind of suit me because I'm not that kind of like an extensive crazy guy. But for this guy, one tap God, he has named himself and kind of like proved himself. Not in this particular matchup, that he has kind of like getting those one tap, like it's a habit for him. Trust me when I say this. It is just nowhere to run right now. So what we come down to play, the extensive use is gonna be in the point that's gonna target one tap God, and the main guy goes down. Lavish on the other hand takes outside of 2 comes off the play. He's making sure he checks the corner. Nope. Moga gets a double. Now it's gonna be a 4v2. Nonchalant having that man advantage.
Exactly
might be the Prince going in for the beach, actually going in for the extensive utilization of his ultimate. That's gonna be that plant is gonna get disturbed for a while though. Now it's gonna be the plant going down. Probably gets one, gets
Spike
the touch.
planted.
Still not yet.
Still not yet. There goes the tripwire. There go the shots right through the box, and that's gonna make it a 2v2. However, wait a minute, 1 and 9 is
One
back.
enemy
Will they be
remaining.
able to get it? They just about managed to get the breach. And now it's all up to LaFlame, who still isn't going to be able to look on the right side. They're
No
expecting
charges
someone to
left.
be in the Cypher wall over there, but not quite. Of course, the Cypher is all the way back, peeking long. The Omen from behind, they're just wasting time. All they want to do is make sure that there is no diffusal happening of the spike, and looks like they're going to be successful right here. And RMB will be the one to finish off the engagement, take down the flame. Playing it perfectly right there, Nonchalant, especially with the flank coming in from Wine. And that's going to allow them to once again keep it tight, keep it close, as it is 4-3, still in favor of ROGA.
Yeah, it's more of like that. I would say for the last couple of rounds that Nonchalant is able to like get in their win. It has been the case that the side of Nonchalant are just playing it with that aggressiveness, getting punished from the side of one tap god when he's getting that opportunity to just go for those one taps and take every other guy out one by one. But for the side of Nonchalant, when they're able to take down the side of one tap god, they're extremely just getting those rounds in for themselves. So which gets a double. The Nonchalant side gets the double, trying to just stop the control coming out from the side of Garage. Now again, left side C. Phoenix is going to get it's just going in inside Garage. Gets a double. Gets one. Triple. Now it's going to be Sova left down in a 1v1. 10 HP is going to be the left out HP for this guy. Now 10 HP under Dream definitely can be the case, but the other guy is having an operator and a classic, so probably just wait it out and play time, because you have 50 seconds left on the clock. Yes, you can make a rotation on side A. Yes, you can actually make a rotation on side B, and in less than 4 seconds you will have your recon dot ready as well. So just take your time out, because you don't have the HP there with your side. And he gets it.
10 HP and a Dream for the final clutch right there for the side of Nonchalant. Very, very well played indeed, and especially that opening gambit, getting into C, the flash and double kill by Moga, really utilizing Phoenix's abilities to the best of their utility potential, and allowing Gambo a little bit of room to get that kill, making it 1v1, and Gambo's superior positioning allowed them the final kill onto LaFlame, who unfortunately had no idea and was none the wiser as to where the Sova was. Going into now the 9th round, it's a 4-4 equalizer.
Joke's over! Look dead!
Really aggressive play, but no one-tap god goes down. Moga gets the other. On the other hand, LaFlame on the floor. We did hear the Phoenix go off as well. Joke's over, you're dead. That's what
You're
lavish. Anyway, Caramel gets the first pick for ROGA on the other side. Unfortunately for ROG Academy, it might be too little too late. Or which unfortunately or fortunately might mean a lot.
Last player standing.
Max gets one, but gets taken down by Windine, because there was, of course, the Omen on the box. Caramel, the last one standing in a 1v3.
Spike planted.
ROG in a 1v3 defense. I mean, for the side of Nonchalant, they are playing with that double duelist. So yeah, when you have a double duelist in play, you have like 30% of the utility favoring down on those aggressiveness, and they're just exclusively getting those rounds in. Of course, the K is gonna give away his location. Everybody's coming in for the free fire. He needs to go back. I mean, it's a 1v3. Yes, you just want to give it a try, but it seems very, very untouchable for this guy. He doesn't have the time. He does have the skill to take down one yet. Flash is going to be the play. Might be looking for the second one. It's going to be very close on the right-hand side. But Gambo was more than ready to play on that cover. So yeah, the aggressiveness, the double duelist pick is definitely working out now for the side of Nonchalant. I feel like ROG Academy has taken up this kind of like a composition, which has been a very like a copy paste coming off from the finale as semi-finale as well, because we did saw the same agent picks coming off on the yesterday's Haven semi-finale. They did play in Sova. Max was playing in Sova. Luis was playing in Cypher. Karam was playing with the Breach. Love Flame was with Jet. You know, the same almost the mirror composition that they have played in yesterday. So I feel like their composition is going to definitely gonna be working in the case of their attacking side. So they just might try out to get some of these round victories for their side, because and now for the last 3 rounds, Nonchalant looks very settled in for side A and side C push.
That they do, and it's got to be said how Nonchalant has just kind of read into what ROG Academy has been trying to do for the better part of the last 9 rounds now. And like you said, Bullet, ROG Academy is playing the same lineup and the same overall player composition as they were in the semifinals and even in the quarterfinals, from what I remember. So of course it lends to being a little bit predictable, being a little bit repetitive when it comes to your strategies. Of course, that's not to say that ROG Academy don't have multiple strategies at the same team composition. However, when a lot of these players play the same way, it kind of gets hard to change it up, because then you're breaking up an established flow.
Camera
That
taken
said,
out.
of course,
They found my
on the overhang, making sure that, the Cypher up there can't see, and Lavish has to fall back. 45 health, you know, kind of tagged up, and we're already going for the plant. On the A-bomb site, it was pretty clear. It looks like it's a potential site retake right about now. Ren and Cypher, and so many of them. Oh my goodness, this underside here, little sewers there, it's called, being held down by Nonchalant. They know for a fact that site retake will have to happen, but wait a minute. RMB just hiding in the Omen smoke. LaFlame is really close with the Sheriff. And the plan is once again happening. Gambo tries it, but
Spike down A.
One type gets one, LaFlame gets another, and Ren and Windine fired back. Two more down. So they made at taking control of the side. Caramel with another. It's a 2v2, excuse me.
30 seconds left.
Here.
Right now, it all comes down to these final players.
One enemy
Sitting
remaining.
in the corner over there, Caramel
Nice one.
finds Ren, and it is indeed down the line. And the last one standing gets flanked, and LaFlame will take the final kill. A bit of a chaotic site retake right there, but a successful one nonetheless, as ROGA managed to equalize 5-5.
I might not say that was a chaotic round. I would more of like say that was a really good positional play coming off from the side of ROG Academy. Three of the guys coming in for and flank, kind of like a push, rotating all the way from side B and side C, just making sure that Nonchalant doesn't take the entire side control, even though they had it. The breach ult comes in for the side of Karam. Now other two guys pushing on from the side of Swiss. They lost two, but eventually they got the better of it. So yeah, that was a great positional play coming out from the side of ROG Academy in that last defending round, which they got it. Now we do see the side one of the players from the side of Nonchalant making sure that he takes an entry to Shewers, and the other guys are going to come up and take down the side of Nonchalant. Lovely gets one. Moga, as Kerm is going to just put his back away there. Moga gets a headshot. The trade comes in. Max takes down the side of Phoenix. Potential 3v2 now, as Lavis is going to get the ultimate play. All of the positions are going to get revealed. Nonchalant in a 2v3 attacking play now.
Especially with the neural
Deploying
drone.
drone.
Spike planted.
ROGA.
One enemy remaining.
Nonchalant is going for the plant. LaFlame managing to get Gambo. That leaves RMB in the last player standing. Sheriff in hand. How much can they do? Push from three sides here. They see one. They see the other two, but Lavish can only get the 3K, and a very good 3K at that. And of course, that means the defusal will happen, and ROG Academy
Scanning
can
ahead.
do another site retake, this time on the C site. That's going to let them
Last
take
round
back
in the
their
half.
lead that they had lost for just a moment earlier on. However, not to be for Nonchalant, as they now have to play the last round of the half, potentially going into a 5-7 deficit, which of course they want to avoid. RG Academy, on the other hand, they want to avoid equalizing, because of course when they're on the attack, we've seen them be a little bit less sure of themselves when it comes to versus them being on the defense on Haven. So will it be a 7-5? Will it be a 6-6?
Get out of my
Let's find
way.
out.
Revealing area.
Let's find out, folks. 6-5, and the adaptivity play coming in from both sides is really good. We just saw the one tap shot going down, and everybody just making sure that how they can actually win those rounds. But now coming off with that knives out play, possibly a second flash of shots getting used. That's gonna be played. Gambo gets the double with that Sova ult, and now it's gonna be ROG Academy getting out
Spike
1-5-1.
planted.
Nonchalant having the upper hand now, but still, I would say for the fact that Omen is coming in probably all together with the side of Cypher. So yeah, 2v5 is the same angle. It's not gonna be a very
Joke's over. You're dead.
a very good position. Of course, definitely the case that somebody goes in for the flank, but Lavish takes on the side of Windine. Windine goes out, one tap guard. Just fighting out extensively to just getting those one more kill to actually make up the push.
Cage
Even better.
Last player standing.
Go out. That's going to be the side of Nonchalant. Just equalize the first half. 6-6. A lot of that T back
Switching sides.
is going to go down. Of course, the rivalry is getting brewed up, and that's the kind of like you use this term very extensively. The masala getting ready for this grand finale.
Definitely spicy things up right now. Both Nonchalant and ROG Academy, as we have now switched sides, folks. ROG Academy is now on the attack, and Nonchalant defending these sites. Of course, the team compositions will not change, and they will have to play with the operators, agents that they have made their peace with. And so far, so good, all things considered, between both teams. They've been firing on all cylinders, and Nonchalant definitely have done their homework for Haven. As we have seen, they're more than ready, more than prepared for the otherwise dominant team. Cover going out. Here come the breach. Utilities, the stuns, the flashes, and a big push going into the C-bomb side. LaFlame's already in here, and the Omen smokes go out, allowing them entry. Caramel's going for the plant. And now it's once again going to be a site retake, this time for Nonchalant. The question is, how proficient are they going to be? As a lot of players push out into Garage, Ren is going to be able to get one, but that's 12 health for this particular Jet. Gambo gets LaFlame on the other side. Meanwhile, pushes out. That's one for Max as well. Lavish gets the other.
One
Logan
enemy remaining.
Retake onto Max, only to get taken down by Caramel on the other side. It's also long down, and they gotta be quick about this. Unfortunately, gets double peaked. Gets taken off the board. 7 and 6, ROG Academy back in the lead.
Yep, and this was the first round on the attacking side, and it has kind of like proven their counter pick to the double duelists coming up from the side of Nonchalant. To answer out the fact that they have Jet and Phoenix coming up from the side of Nonchalant. Again, they have the double controller pick coming off from the side of ROG Academy. The breach, the initiator coming off from the side of breach is definitely making sure that they are able to get in the site and just able to just like deviate and stun all the players who are just playing on that pre-positional lane. Actually doing a lot of side games. There you go. A push from again ROG Academy to the C side. One time and gets a double 1-by-1. Ren is gonna play on that trade. Now ROG Academy will left out in just a 2v4 disadvantage. So yeah, the advantage I was talking about, that they are able to just counter out with their double control and initiator play, has not been the very clear case to just counter every other round on the man advantage. And yeah, they have to just wait it out for that one to get over aggressive, which I don't see being the case from the side of Nonchalant.
Yeah, they're going to be more than happy to just play on the back foot, play reservedly, and potentially maybe send one or two players out for the flank, as we see Gambo the Sova from Nonchalant peeking the long hallway that's close to the attacker spawn, right by, of course, meanwhile, Max manages to push up.
Last player
will they get the
standing.
second? No, they
30 seconds left.
Caramel is now the last one. The Jet Smoke sees the two players, but they will not be able to get those two players. That was a lineup as well. Had Campbell actually gotten that one, oh my goodness, that would have actually pulled the round so much closer, but not to be. 7 and 7 as we are getting, kind of inching closer and closer to what seems like a very obvious overtime in the very first map here, Bullet. As both ROG Academy and Nonchalant, they are not sparing any quarter.
This is gonna be most of like that 2 or 3 rounds coming off from one side to their play that they're gonna get 2 or 3 lead, which is gonna affect a lot of that economic side of things for many of the teams, and then it's gonna be that one team kind of like dominate on the entire play. But for that to actually happen, we have to just wait and watch. But Rand will definitely take down side of LaFlame in a very unusual play. Coming off the side of LaFlame, we have seen him going very not go for those spree fires, but actually go and take down those headshots though. And that has completely backfired in this particular gunfight. Rand goes back and he's actually gonna favor him. Max was being a little bit over aggressive with it, trying to just make sure that nobody comes in from the side game rotation. Mindine comes from the back on the other side, taking up on the other side. One tap gets a double. That's gonna be ECW and Mindine to get things cleared on the side of the Academy. And now this one goes on to the favor to the side of Nonchalant. 8-7 will be the scoreline. So again, like I said, that 1 round for you, 1 round for me is gonna be the case. I feel like up till round number what do you say? We have passed on round number 15, probably up to round number 19 or 20 before we see actually the 8-8 or 9-9 scoreline, or maybe even the 10-10 coming in play, or maybe 9-9 being in play, and then might be a timer. But timeout is going to get used right now from the side of ROG Academy. Probably the right thing to do at this point of time, because even if like Nonchalant gets one more, it's going to be a 9-7, which is going to lead down to the fact that they were going to get the economic advantage in terms of just equipping the best operator and Valorant and Phantoms for themselves. Because on the other side, yes, Nonchalant wasn't able to, sorry, ROG Academy wasn't able to win round number 12, no, round number 13. So yeah, they're slowly and steadily feeling the part that you just need to balance out your economic play as well. Because yes, if you're just playing with the specters and phantoms against players who have phantoms, vandals and phantoms in hand, of course there's a very less probability that you're gonna win those long range gunfights.
That's the other thing that, Valorant's economy kind of facilitates is these kinds of rounds where you have to kind of make a choice. Do you go for like a broken buy, a half buy, a full, just complete buyout, get everything you can, or do you save, play an eco round, and potentially get even more in the next one? As we look at, of course, the side of RGA and Nonchalant's economies right now, of course, you can see both of them going all in pretty much, using up their credits as much as possible. Nonchalant having more in their pockets purely because of the back-to-back wins. Pushing up hard and gets taken down. Ooh, I have never seen a more definitive way to say sit down to the enemy Jet. LaFlame being a little bit too aggressive, but then again, that's what Jet can be. An aggressive player on Wine gets one-tap God, managed to find Brent on the return, but needs to fall back from the Omen. Smoke after Cage goes out, and they're going to make sure that he can push
One
ahead,
enemy
but
remaining.
Lavish didn't need to do
Spike down
that.
B.
RMB comes around the side, gets Caramel, and ROG Academy shut down left, right, and center, leaving one-tap God, the final player standing. There's the one-tap. That's Gamble off the board. Picks up the operator, decides, you know what, I don't actually need this, and switches back to the Bulldog. Trying to find maybe one more. They don't have the spike either. Picks up Lando. It's all now. Watch them run. Teleporting out. Shadows traveling. Staying kind of in place. Putting up more and more smokes, and they do actually have the spike, excuse me, right there. Picked it up, put it down, and it's a 1v3 in the post-flank. Question is, will they be able to hold this down? Going away, and unfortunate for one-tap God, the attempted play has been denied.
Yeah, 7-2. And we see that triple round back-to-back victory coming off from that one particular team, which was supposed to happen, and it was very much needed to kind of get up on that economical, good push to just stable your overall economy in terms of even if you just lose that one particular. Now see it for yourself. Creds are being very low for the side of ROG Academy. Everybody has to go for that eco round if they want to do it, because at this point of time, eco is not something you want to really do. Of course, you want to get half of the shields, or maybe going for those sheriff pick as you want to do. But on the other side, you have all of the players going in for Vandal, and Jets, of course, probably definitely will pick up that operator as she's playing on the C side. The push comes off to take the control of Garage area, and now we see the Jet also, and make sure that he gets that one pick, which is supremely needed for Nonchalant. And now ROG Academy very early in the round for the advantage. What, Cambo? Hello? He was unfortunately disconnected.
That's
Here.
unfortunate right there, but it is what it is. Nonchalant will simply have to move on as the round has already started. Can't really pause in that kind of a situation, folks. As the spike has been put on the floor, one-tap God finds Wine dying, but Moga comes around, gets Max. Oh dear me. Here is the Phoenix going all in. Unfortunately, not quite does get the revive on themselves, as it is just a complete bloodbath in the site, leading it to a 1v2 for LaFlame. Oh boy, to get taken down. Moga, fantastic use of the flashes, and R&B coming in to support wherever possible, allows for, of course, Nonchalant to continue to expand their lead. Once again, a little bit of a site retake on the A-bomb site, and they had to pull it off because, of course, the plant had been successful. However, it can only be successful for so long if you're unable to hold it in. And in the meanwhile, of course, That makes it a 10-7. Nonchalant, the first team to hit double digits in this matchup, and a very well played double digits as well. I have to point this out once again. RMB coming in with a Vandal, just really shutting down the enemy players, while the Phoenix, with the ult and everything ready, kind of served more of as a distraction and a bit of a nuisance with the flashes and the flame walls that were being
Yep.
set up left and right. Well coordinated between the two as well, because RMB had to take advantage of that situation, jump down from the rafters, and get that double, leaving LaFlame the only one standing, and Moga was able to more than happily clean up the final player, leaving Nonchalant in a very, very good position. They are now pretty much, what, 2 rounds away, excuse me, just a few rounds away from the victory even on map 1. And mind you, Haven was the pick from the side of ROG Academy. So if RG loses, they're going to be going into the next map, which, mind you, is a map we have not seen before in this particular tournament, so to speak. Sunset, picked by Nonchalant. And I don't think they want to go there on a deficit, but so far, unfortunately, they've been picked, drawn, and quartered, and Nonchalant do not show signs of stopping.
Yeah, at this point of time, like I said, I guess it was round number 13, or probably it was like round number 9 where we did saw. Yeah, that was around between round number 9 and round number 13 that the double duelist split is now very settled in coming up from the side of Nonchalant. Yeah, there's that double initiator. That kind of like I told about, that maybe it can be that play which can favor on from the side of RG Academy, and which kind of did in round number 9 and round number 12 extensively, before the score was 5-5 and then went on till 6-6, but now, as Nonchalant, like you mentioned out, every other guy is just making the very expressive play alongside the smokes coming in from Jet, and of course the walls coming in from the side of Phoenix. They are just able to play around it. They're just able to play around both other duelists, making their charging, getting those first frags, or maybe if not, getting those post plant frags, which is extensively needed when you are in the 2v3, or like more of like a 3v4 scenario, when you don't have the man advantage, or maybe even if you have the man advantage, to be the first guy to pick up those frags. So uh, before the first half, we did saw more of like a gun game going from both sides, and now as the second half is in play, now ROG Academy is in the attacking side. It is more of like very heavy utility being utilized from both of the sides, from every other skit. We do see the breach uh, playing with his stuns and flashpoint very much every now and then, that he is just making sure nobody comes up and takes the control of things from the side of Nonchalant pretty early, if any one of them is going aggressively against their push. But it also comes down to the fact that ROG Academy are now slowly, just sliding down on not winning those rounds. They're just slowly just gripping it away to the side of Nonchalant. Now, being on the scoreline of 10-7, like you mentioned, it's just going to be a couple of rounds before they can get this first map victory on their side. And mind you, folks, again, ROG Academy, it was their map pick. It was their side to decide whether they want to attack or defend. And for the next, actually, other two maps as well, is going to be the side of ROG Academy to start off with their defensive round. So, Nonchalant playing with a double duelist is definitely very much settled in right.
Absolutely. The double duelist comp here from Nonchalant, putting them in an advantageous position. As on the other side, RG Academy just not really coming up with any answers for the last 4 rounds now. Rounds 14 through 17 have just been Nonchalant answering every single threat posed by ROGA back to back to back. And as we've seen on the instant replay a few times now, this last round has just been so well handled. And just kind of speaks to in general how Nonchalant have kind of woken up. Because going back to the very beginning of the game, it was what, a 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, just in the favor of RG Academy. They were kind of starting off really strong. However, as we kind of, speculated at the time, that it's maybe just that Nonchalant needs a second to warm up, because once they did, they pulled back hard, very quickly taking in their first lead at round number 9, going 5-4, and then our RG Academy kind of fired back, going 5-5, then 6-5, but then of course it was not to be for too long. The moment it became 7-7 in round number 14, That's where Nonchalant seem to really get into their stride, find their groove, so to speak. And since then, it has been the non-stop Nonchalant show. Now, if you're wondering why we're on the instant replay screen for so long, folks, it's purely because of the disconnection that happened earlier. It's a technical timeout, and we are simply waiting for, the ready, excuse me, right there from the just getting the ready confirmation from the side of, I believe it is Nonchalant, who had the player Gambo disconnect earlier. So it's getting them back in, getting everybody settled, and we'll be right back into the match. But of course, the match itself, as Bullet pointed out, this is just the first map. We could be going into a 3-map scenario if it keeps being this close going into Sunset. And of course, the last map, the only map left in the pool after, ban, ban, pick, pick, ban, ban, that is Lotus. But the question is, what will happen on Sunset? Because it is, ironically enough, a pretty fitting name, because depending on how the match goes, one team on the map of Sunset will actually see the setting sun of their tournament run. But until then, we still have a few more rounds to go on the map of Haven. Let's get right back into the game, folks. And we are going to be in on round number 18. As the timer runs, the action starts.
Next mode of like if Nonchalant gets this one, they're more than settled right now. Ren will just technically disable kind of like the push for a second, but now that's great. Cabra getting triggered. Ram doesn't know for a fact that there are going to be more than 2 defenders who are already inside.
I know exactly.
Going to be the play. That's going to be the Cypher's ultimate getting triggered now.
Last player standing.
Gambo coming off with that ultimate. He gets one though. That's going to be last flame. But now, 1v2. Of course, for the fact that Open is very low in HP, just one bullet will take him out though. But now, as in this post-plant situation, especially for side C, when there are more than 2 guys, actually more than 1 guy, who's going to take care of that cross angle, it becomes very hard, kind of like, going for the clutch and actually be on the maximum probability to actually get this round for yourself. Nobody's on the corners. Gambo just gonna make sure that he's gonna check every other corner.
One enemy remaining.
Gets one. Probably gonna go for the right as well, but no! What a close! And very well tried coming in from the side of Gambo. That's gonna be the side of ROG Academy finally getting that piece, finally getting that round for themselves, and now it's gonna be 8-10. 2 back-to-back rounds for Nonchalant, and finally a full stop coming up from the side of ROG Academy.
That definitely got very, very close right there. Right at the end, Gambo nearly pulling out that double kill. Just didn't have the idea of where the enemy Cypher would have been, allowing for the side of RGA to get that round on their side. And they definitely did, so to speak. And oh my goodness, Red on top of the boxes has decided, you know what, I'm going to be the one and not go down first. We have the teleport coming in from the Omen. We did have the going in as well. Ult is ready, but Gambo gets the other top. One tap god getting one more. A complete disconnection from the side of Nonchalant. We have a complete breakdown of their gameplay, and unfortunately, looks like Gambo actually has left us in the lobby. Unfortunate for the side of Nonchalant, as they could have potentially used the Sova to allow for a really, really good round of their own. But ROGA will be pretty much in the driver's seat, especially with how they completely took over the C site for the 2nd time in a row, folks. And, it is what it is, as we like to say in situations like these.
Oh boy, this is going to be another pause coming in, and a very unfortunate incident coming back to back for the side of Nonchalant, and it happens, folks. I mean, I feel for that guy. I feel really bad for the guy, and it's kind of like a personal, relatable situation, and for me as well, for everybody. I mean, Blackjack, we can relate to this part, right? But right now, going to be no pause actually. We just got the confirmation from the backend team, as you can see in the chat as well. There's going to be no pause. They're not going to take that technical time, but they're going to go in for a 4v5, as maybe they're just in that momentum run that hey, we're winning those rounds back to back. We just got one more. So just go. Let's just go with it. Like Moga on the other side is going to be very aggressive. He's already up onto that window pane over here. Nobody knows it from the side of ROG Academy, but that's going to be one of the cyber traps being initiated over there. Up top comes in, Jet is in, trying to make me go down, but no. Cypher will get taken care of. La Flame gets back in the form. Max is going to assist him. 2v5.
Spike planted.
Once again, a massive push from ROG Academy, really just saying, we're going to take control of A bomb site, and you're not going to be able to do anything about this. The spike is on the floor. Wine and Dine, kind of the only person who can do anything about this in this situation. It's technically a 1v5 fire, but they're unable to get one. The Omen smoke cover going out from the other team. Of course, one is in, but it doesn't really do
Last player standing.
Jumps down and gets completely shot down. And that, of course, folks, pretty much cements it. The round is going to go the way of ROG Academy. And they're just going to fall back, make sure that their economy isn't hurt by anybody going down accidentally to the exploding spike. Leaving Nonchalant in a bit of a pickle. 10 and 10. The scores are equal.
And now as we get to the other side of round 20, it's going to be the 10-10 scoreline, and which has kind of like, I would definitely say it, folks, don't at me, but this is a very unfortunate situation. I'm pretty sure if they were playing with a full man stack, maybe the result could have been a little bit different, but how Jet and Sova is playing right now from the side of ROG Academy, does it say for the fact that slowly and steadily in some of these rounds that double initiator combo is helping out for the side of ROG Academy? But for the most of the side, I mean, for the most of the attacking and the postman scenario side, we have seen the side of Nonchalant actually playing better with their double duelist pick coming off from the side of Nonchalant. Right now, it's going to be the 10-10 score line. We're just going to wait up. Yeah, the player is back in the lobby, just making sure that he's settled in and we get the confirmation from both of the teams, from both the teams.
It also does just kind of go to show how much team coordination is so important in Valorant.
Yes.
Because even one player not playing to their fullest potential, to their fullest strengths, or having issues in any way, shape, or form, well,
yes,
that means that the entire team can fall apart, and it becomes very, very difficult to kind of play back to your strengths, to what the full team could otherwise accomplish. With that said, Gamble is back. It is once again a full 5-5. So, as we now have ROG Academy with 2 rounds of momentum on their side, where will they go from here? It's going to be a full push. They're really going in, and there go 2 defenders off the board, and the spike is being planted once again.
Spike planted.
Could face one, and they do. Taking 1, taking 2. Making it an equal 3v3. Unfortunately, they go down as LaFlame peeks long on that same angle, leaving Ren to do some of the dirty work here. They know that there's at least
Last
one.
player standing.
The question is, will they be able to get the 2 that are actually on this side hallway, quote-unquote, of Site B? There's the concussions coming in from the ROG breach. Fortunately, not going to find anything off of that, and it's really just down to how the Jet wants to play this. Kind of sitting on the overhang, I do believe, just above the flame right about now. Caramel trying to peek the stairs. Spike will blow up, of course.
Yeah.
1 kill for LaFlame, and that's a Ren off the board right before the last buzzer on that spike timer. But folks, ROG Academy, they've got the momentum, and they are more than willing to maintain it, going 11 and 10.
Slowly and steadily, this is more of like becoming anyone's game right now, to be frankly speaking. Yes, I was talking about how the double duelist combo is settled in for the side of Nonchalant, but for the side of the ROG Academy, the double initiator play is definitely playing alongside the aggressive push coming off from Jet, or sometimes even coming off from the side of Omen as well. One tap call from the side of ROG Academy. Now the push is gonna be towards the side of the Raj. You know, for that now just need 2 more rounds to settle the score in for map number 1. Hot hands, maybe Moga. Just waiting in for any of the possible audio cues coming off from side B, or maybe towards the garage door. Pop flash, maybe. He's gonna flash. Sorry.
Otherwise, for a couple of small hiccups, so far the round has been fairly quiet. Hugging the door with a shotgun.
Spike
That's
down,
a
mid.
huge double starter. Spike carrier has been killed as well, and that's Caramel down for the count. Here comes the Cypher Cage and R&B providing cover fire for Wrench. Shots are going to be fired once again. Garage door kind of just really becoming the peaking spot for the side of the defense.
Cage trigger.
Lavish trying to make a play from inside the defender's spawn. Wait a minute. They've been in here for a minute.
30
now.
seconds
See
left.
for a couple of cam switches that they were there, but not really much happening out of that. Spike is still on garage door, I believe. No, it's been picked up. The Omen has managed to take it, and looks like there might be a plant happening on the A site. Yes, it is. Diagonal hallway is being held by the Sova, so it's now at a bit of a retake situation. ROG Academy managing to pull the wool over Nonchalant's eyes. And now, Nonchalant has to play against a huge retake right now. Oh my goodness, the double kill. Max gets Ren on the overhang. And that just leaves them in a really bad position.
one.
Oh my goodness, what a clutch from the remaining 3 players of ROG Academy. Let's see
Match
that in
point.
the instant replay. The way they managed to secure the spike and have a bomb site secured by Lavish, who just held it down with the rifle, and the rest of the team coming in and shutting down Nonchalant. It is 12-10, and ROG Academy, folks, I do believe that is match point for them.
I mean, how you are able to get a 2v4? I am just in that awe of the fact
Standing
that
ahead.
how was that supreme positional play coming off from the side of ROG Academy so neatly done. I mean, the words are gonna fall short, honestly speaking, Blackjack. But there we go.
I
Levis
know
is not gonna
exactly
stop
where
up with
you
that outlaw. Gets one more. Probably that was a off-grade. Coming up from Cyber, I'm not really sure about it. So I'm just gonna pause myself for a little bit. Laughlin gets one. The Phoenix pops up in his ult. Not a great thing to do, but through the smoke. Holy moly! Probably gets one more. It's gonna deploy the hot hands to just take out the side of Jet from that particular corner. Nonchalant still not in the man
player
advantage. Roger G-Max comes up from the last, and now it's gonna be a 1-3-3.
planted.
Cypher left out with the Sheriff. Gets one though. Really neat and clean headshot. Possibly a clutch scenario might be in play. He has that cam, he has that Cypher stage as well, but not gonna check the corner.
Attackers
And RG
win.
Academy takes up the first map, which was their own map pick, with a scoreline of 13-10.
Now that, folks, was a close game. 13-10 to ROG Academy on their map of choice. And they definitely pulled out all the stops just to get this win. It took them a lot, and for a good moment, it looked like Nonchalant might actually defy them on their own map. Not to be, of course, as ROG Academy have pulled things back from the brink, as some would say, and we are seeing the first win of the night. And that is 13-10 to ROG Academy on map number 1, Haven. Of course, we have one more map at the very least to go, and we could still have 2 more maps depending on how the next one goes. That will be Sunset, and we will be right back to see all the action. Don't go anywhere.
Sir.
Y'all sit back and watch me speak. About to take over your screen. Talking bulls in 93. Talking mom, I'm on TV. Y'all know all I do is me. All I do is me. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and all I know, my money green. About to snap and make a scene. My cup off and make this free. My cup off and make them scream. Go pop off for TMZ. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Money long, nothing on credit. I got style, don't catch no feelings. All this bread ain't got no lettuce. I got style, don't catch no feelings. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, look. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, look. Look, look. Look, look. Look, look. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Watch me. Sit back. Sit back. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. About to take over your screen. Talking bulls in 93. Talking mom, I'm on TV. Y'all know all I do is me. All I do is me. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and all I know, my money green. About to snap and make a scene. My cup off and make this free. My
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the Valorant Clash of Champions, hosted here at Point Out. I'm your host, Blackjack. Of course, alongside me is my co-host, Bullet, as we are back for the grand finale, this time on map number 2. It's a best of 3, and we just had map number 1, which was won by ROG Academy, 13 and 11. It was a really, really close game indeed, folks. And now going into map number 2, it is Sunset, a new map that I personally haven't casted before. So it's a new experience for me as well. And hopefully we get to see some refreshed team lineups as well, as both of these teams, are going to go right back into it. Bullet, how are we feeling going into map number 2?
I mean, it was a pretty close one. Some of the rounds were getting slipped up from side of Nonchalant, but hey, we can't just really, say them for a fact that they were not playing good. It was an unfortunate disconnection coming up from the side of Cambo, so they couldn't really play on that full stack and, show probably the real play what they can actually do. And we have seen them, their double duelist play getting settled in, the double duelist play getting those frags really good. So it was a very good effort coming in from side Nonchalant, but overall, when ROG Academy did had a chance to just suppress the entire team of Nonchalant and getting those victories back to back for their side, they did it in a really, really good way. So that was a pretty good one coming up from side of ROG Academy the first time. But now coming up on the second map of Sunset, of course, that's going to be an ISO and Neon pick. Now it's going to be the vice versa situation. A double duelist pick coming off from the side of ROG Academy, and we do see Omen, we do see the side of Breeze. So probably one more duelist getting added up, but Neon is going to be almost the same as the Cypher, and so it's going to get utilized pretty much, a lot on a map like Sunset. You see a tap god gets one. Neon is already in and getting taken care of. Tap god gets the
Spike down A.
Spike is already out.
Last player
the
standing.
ROG Academy are now settled in. One more last guy remaining on clock and alive inside the site. It's gonna get taken care of very quickly, and that's gonna be a victory taken up in the first round for the side of from the side of ROG Academy.
ROG Academy once again starting off strong on the map of Sunset, similar to how they started on the map of Haven. They love taking the first couple rounds, really giving themselves the momentum to get in there and get in strong, so to speak. LaFlame this time picking up the Neon makes sense, LaFlame kind of known for those fast dash style gameplays, just kind of going in aggressive, being the first one to initiate the gunfights. That's your duelist, that's the one you want on those types of operators. Excuse me there. Holding on to, of course, an angle for the time being. Looks like RGA is going to play a little bit more reserve. Down where they were very forward.
Spike
and
down,
one tap
B.
gets one, gets tapped back, and Lavish this time. Maybe Lavish will change their name to one tap as well. Not quite as Moga. Will the clap back. Shots are fired, and that is going to be the ISO shield broken. Fire from Gambo.
One enemy remaining.
Max missing a few
Spike
too many
down,
shots,
B.
but Cameron, doesn't. That's going to be Gambo taking care
One
of it.
enemy remaining.
That's sights on where the Neon is, and a great shot from Moga onto Caramel. And that leaves, of course, LaFlame, the last one standing. Sheriff in hand, Moga could potentially turn this into a huge clutch.
This! Go!
Fired. Here we go. Slides right in.
Nice one.
And says, hey, nice place. How about I buy it out from you? Pretty much kills the tenant instead. Well played indeed from LaFlame to hold down the round for ROG Academy. Got a bit too close, I think, for their liking. But they still make it out of it relatively unscathed, 2-0.
Yeah, at this point of time, this is definitely the side of ROG Academy, which we did saw in the last map as well. They're able to get those first initial rounds to their side. It's kind of like favors out the mid round as well. That huge confidence boost. But what a push coming up from the side of Nonchalant. They're getting very aggressively inside the entire map side control, and then they're getting denied at the same time from the side of RG Academy being in the defense. Rotation comes in Cypher and Trap
Last player
One of the
standing.
controller smokes are gonna prevent that advantage to just linger up the
Spike
focus and the
planted.
deviation coming up from the side of Nonchalant, but that was like more of like a gun game going on to what's the connection between B and Ace. B and the midpoint. Now it's gonna be RM right away. Take down the last guy from the side of RG Academy.
The win,
Pretty much getting there when they have that option to play with that Vandal and Phantoms, and ROG Academy was not able to kind of like cohesively just play on that positional play. So when we talk about the side of defense on a map like Sunset, yes, there are some really long rotations for both of the sides, but we have seen when Sunset was initially introduced that a lot of the Valorant experts used to say for a fact that you have to take up that mid control to just split the entire defense team and kind of like form a barrier on the midpoint. But that is not exactly the case happening right now. Both of the teams are just getting lingered on the side of side A, and Nonchalant just going in very aggressively to push down on side A and just play on that very going in, run and gun, trying to just play on that.
Last player standing.
Just see for yourself on what's going to be the case. And again, it's going to be the side of Lavish to left
planted.
out alone in that 1v3 advantage, 1v3 disadvantage.
Absolutely, and something has to be said about the neural theft, I should say, used by the Nonchalant Cypher right there. The position is given away thanks to the ultimate of the Silva, and that will allow for the attackers Nonchalant to take their second round, equalizing very quickly against ROG Academy. The slip and slide straight in by R&B at the very beginning as well, paying huge dividends for that team, as they have found themselves once again in a close encounter of the action kind when it comes to this matchup. Sunset is their pick. They have chosen this particular map, so they do have to put up a good performance if they want to make sure that things go into map number 3, Lotus, and allow them, that is Nonchalant, a chance to win the grand finals. Right now, let us remember the map lead is with ROG Academy, and technically they are on map point as well, as all they need to do is win this one, and it will be the competition will be done and dusted. But looks like we might be looking into a potential mid encounter towards, maybe? No, doesn't look like it. They're switching sides and going all the way to A, and the defense is repositioning accordingly as well. It's going to be a big gunfight on the side hallway right about now, as the entry is pushed hard. There goes Caramel finding Roga, who took down Max. R&B gets one, gets taken down by Lavish. It is a massive amount of firing happening right about now. Firewalls all over the place as Caramel finds Wine9. Puts the side of Nonchalant on a bit of a disadvantage, 2v3. As Gambo, along with the second are repositioning. Huge shot right there. Oh dear me, dragged into the kill combat.
One enemy remaining.
The ISO, who gets the kill? Gambo off the board. And that
30 seconds left.
Ran on from standing. Breaks the shield, doesn't break the head. That's a 4K for Caramel on the Vandal with the ISO. Well played indeed, as ROG Academy immediately bring it back.
A thrifty round coming up for the side of RG Academy, and this is the kind of like a play that you need to do slowly and steadily, just equalizing things, and then when you have that opportunity to just just capitalize on all of the very slight mistakes coming off from your opponent. And I'm not really sure. I mean, I have not honestly seen a lot of that competitive tier 1 teams playing on Sunset, don't get me wrong, but I've always seen a lot of that action going on midpoint. And both of our teams, especially for the side of Nonchalant, they're just avoiding the encounters which can possibly take on the mid section of the map. Possibly a right thing to do, I'm not sure, only time will tell. Nonchalant gets the first pick. Omen goes out. No more smokes coming up from the side of ROG Academy for those potential retakes. Now we do see for a fact that everybody is going to get down to side B. The ultimate comes up from the side of Bridge. The cage gets triggered. Lavish needs to get 1 to enable that hero theft. ROG Max with that Sova ult. Gets 1 though. The retake is happening pretty good. Winder gets 1 more. Ren's going to deny the Lavish pick over there. But now it's going to be a 2v2 post-plant. Fight going to go down. It's going to cause out spike plant for a second. Omen was about to go in for the teleport. Gets denied. And Sova left down in a 1v2.
Position is given away as well, but it's a double two comes from the same angle. Oh my goodness. They nearly, once again, had a bit of a, accident there. We've seen so many collaterals happen over the last couple of days. It is almost to be expected. However, LaFlame with the dash in at the right moment as well, catching Windine before the teleport could happen for the Omen. Pretty much like right before the invincibility frames of that move. Just so clean, and that's what I like about Neon gameplay. It is so clean indeed, especially when played correctly. Which, to be fair, it does take a little bit of practice to do because that's a lot of movement that you have to do.
Here we go!
And once again, here is RMB with the old finger gun.
Oh no!
Oh no! One tap God will just shut it down instead. No unlimited power speed, not today. As one tap God is going to take another gunfight. Smokes are out, shots are being fired. And here is the Nero theft coming in, which means fire are going to be given away. Coming in.
Oh, good one.
Camo can get away in time. Double peek to break the shield, but Max comes in, finds Ren on the other side. Intended snap right there with Gamble with the double. Max comes in with the double of their own, make that a triple. And Windine goes down. And once again, a little bit of a helter-skelter happening right outside the B-bomb site, only for it to go the way of ROG Academy as they push their lead even further up ahead.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I will definitely not favor the double duelist pick coming up from the side of ROG Academy. But the way some of these flashpoints, the way how some of these the utility coordinated utility plays coming up from ROG Academy is just way too good right now, especially on a huge map like Sunset. For the attacking team, you definitely have way too many angles to take care of, but for the defensive side, yes, you're able to split your teammates on the right side of things. You're able to get Cypher, able to get Killjoy. Yes, you can actually split your team very wisely, but how they're having very less utility compared to what they have taken double duelist play. This is a very hard kind of like a defensive side to be on the kind of like the agent composition that they are playing right now. One tap God going in for the small little bit of the flank. He just don't wanna just take out the trap and give away that intel that's gonna be somebody coming from behind. Teleportation getting done very good this time around though, and yes, the flank is on. Tap gets denied though. Neon's gonna take him out. Compared to other guys, he's gonna come up sliding to take down the side of ROG Max. Now it's gonna be a 3v5. Nonchalant still not in any one of the side. Now they have taken a rotation to go towards side A. Probably gets a double. Nonchalant now in a 3v2.
Look, Flame did have a really
30
good
seconds
moment
left.
right there, only to get taken
Spike
down.
planted.
3 right about now, as Caramel is trying to reposition, sees Ren, but that is of course just a little bit of a face check going on from that Sova, and that shot, that little that position, but wait a minute, Lavish from the other side manages to get Windine, makes it
Last player
3-2.
standing.
Shots are fired, and Ren will be the one to win that gunfight. Lavish coming in from roughly the same position. Position is once again given away, and now the question is, where do you go in from? Where do you peak? The position is once again given away from the recon bolt. There's
One enemy remaining.
that Lavish
Oh,
can
nice!
do here. Gets one. Can they get the second? Yes, they do. There's no time to defuse, unfortunately, so all they can do for themselves is just get the heck out of Dodge. And while the round was won by Nonchalant at the end, ROGA definitely hurt their economy going into the next round, because while, the spike was on the floor, all the players died. That's all those guns and all those utilities that could have been saved for the next round lost. So let's see, as the score moves on to 5-3, how the economies from both sides will play out.
At this point of time, I still have a feeling. I don't get me wrong. I have a very strong gut feeling that this might be pushed to overtime. Don't get me wrong though. Both of the teams are playing really good at this. There is that very slab of that positional play, which is kind of like getting lingered, kind of like getting counter out sometimes from the side of Nonchalant, sometimes from ROG Academy. But no, this time around going to be ROG off frame.
Spike down A.
That's going to be the side of ROG off frame, going in for the overdrive. Gets the
Last
knife
player
quickly as soon
standing.
as
I know
I say it, and
exactly
Nonchalant just getting every one of them. Back to back. ROG Max takes that one though. One tap card goes down. It's gonna be that neural theft in play. I'm not sure why he is gonna use that ultimate for to take out that one last guy. But that was a very quick round though, coming off from for the favor of Nonchalant. So like I said, there's sometimes now that entire positional play is happening right for the side of ROG Academy, and they're able to get those quick trades in, quick frags in. But if not, it is that very good, very I would say it's very on point and wise decision of the utility coming off from the side of Nonchalant, and then they are able to just play around those utility to get those frags in against the side of Nonchalant, against the side of ROG Academy.
And I do have to agree with you here on a point we made earlier that overtime weapons was very likely. The slip and slide comes in, but it's going to be one
down
against the other. It's a huge mess right here on the A outside hallway. As Windine managed to get Flame in return, it was just bodies dropping like flies.
Take flight.
Left and right. That's definitely going to be going on the replay, folks. But in the meanwhile, here comes the Owl drone to potentially find a couple positions, and there is intel some given away. But the question is, how will they use it? One tap God. Just kind of peeking, you know, just face peeking left and right, trying to find a potential pick right about now. Lavish as well, really close to the boxes, right by the A-bomb site. Here comes the moment, and here's the Hunter out to play, only to get shut down immediately by
Enemy remaining.
Oh, there we go.
I am Prometheus.
And you, Lavish with the final double kill.
Yeah, a great way to just play on that really good, calm and composed play. But I have to say, chaos is the name of the game right now. Both of the teams are able to just like shut down the initial push coming off from the side of Nonchalant and ROG Academy, vice versa. But if there's like the even a small slide of a mistake coming off in the positional play for the side of Nonchalant, ROG Academy are able to pounce on that one. So a great adaptiveness coming off from the side of ROG Academy. A great way to just read and anticipate where your opponent's gonna come from, where exactly some of these utility play are gonna come from, and how they're just able to shut it down and play against it. It's very careful.
And once again, we have a big push coming in. R&B actually managing to get Lavish. Unfortunately, not able to quite get the advantage of the positioning.
Spike planted.
All of that, and we have Max with a huge Hunter call out. That's a triple kill with that ult. Well done indeed. Off your feet! Sova. Unfortunately, there's a breach ult coming in. That's not really going to get much.
Last player standing.
Fired. Max with the fourth. They could go for the ace right about now. Position is very important. Gamble gets one. Will they get the second? No, it's going to be Max to get the ace. Well played indeed. And that is going to be ROG Academy with another round going their way. 7-4 with an ace to boot.
Revealing area.
Last round before the switch.
Are just, trying their level best as soon as they're able to find that opportunity though. But like I just pointed out, they are just able to anticipate the positional play and to counter it out. They are not very on point countering all of the utility play coming up from Sam Nonchalant, but they're just being on that 1-1 part, on that 1-1 positional part where they just need to be there and get those picks up. A ace. Probably this is going to be the first ace coming off in this Streets of Grand Finale, folks, from the side of Sova. Yeah, that was the first one.
Again, just on both sides. Wait a minute. Okay, I was considering what was going on there, but we had just a little bit of a moment, folks.
Spike planted.
All is good. Kill contract has gone out from the ISO. The spike has been planted already. And we will win their round of the 1v1. Here comes the hero. Fire start. Campbell with another. RMB goes down. The Flame trying to peek right about now. Gambo and Winedine finding two of their own.
Last player
As
standing.
well, dashing right into Gambo's line of sight, but Caramel with two more. That's a 4K for the ISO. Once again, a little bit of a side retake, a little bit of a helter-skelter. ROGA will play it strong, going 8-4 this round win. And now
Switching
going
sides.
into the second half with a big lead.
Yeah, almost a double lead coming off from the side of ROG Academy. Last time when we were when we were directly lead that action at first map of Haven, it was a 6-6. A little bit of that slipperiness coming off, a little bit of that round slipperiness coming off from the side of ROG Academy, but eventually that was counter out from both sides. Giving the credit to both sides playing really well on the first map of Haven. But now the way how this double initiator pick is getting double duelist pick is getting kind of like settled in now from the side of ROG Academy, I feel like, don't get me wrong, I feel like we might not say see overtime, because I did predict that I have a good feeling
Standing
of
ahead.
this map going on overtime and both sides is extensively pulling off each other one by one. But now as this entire half has been favored on for the side of ROG Academy, might
Only I could
and
see
to
you
pull that on the
hide.
side of
Don't
Nonchalant,
worry.
as now they will be on the defensive side. But first black comes in, Moa gets one. The first shot didn't land well though. But there's going to be a lot of that retaliation play good happening from the side of Nonchalant to just kind of like stop the rotation play coming out from the side of ROG.
Spike
The
planted.
first down to the flash on side B.
There we go.
One enemy remaining.
Used up by the breacher, and Moga coming around to allow for
nice.
the takedown on Max. Winedine goes and finds the flame, and that allows them to retake the site and go for the defuse in a very similar vein to what the RG Academy were doing on their defensive rounds. Well played by Nonchalant, all things considered. Their positioning was superior in that round, and definitely with the way that they shut down the post-planned kind of attempt at getting position from ROG Academy. It's once again a lot of back and forth happening, and I definitely feel like overtime is very much possible right now between both of these teams. And, well, we all know what happens when overtime happens, folks, but we'll get there when we get there. Right now it is 8-5. ROG Academy still have a 3-round lead.
Slowly and steadily, I feel like yes, that lead can get dissembled on, and round score can get equalized, but only time can tell, and only if ROG Academy are just getting suppressed one after another round. But we did saw a great way to just the suppression play coming from Nonchalant. Maybe the same
Spike
one.
down,
Gambo
mid.
gets ROG
Last player standing.
Sliding is gonna be the case coming off the side of Neon. A little bit of that teabag will get punished for the same. Lavish takes down the side of Neon, but Gambo gets the double kill here and moves on and takes down the side of Lavish. 8-6. The first two rounds of this particular half is the starting of the round is definitely not going to favor the side of ROG Academy. This time around, it has favored the side of Nonchalant, and now we do see the full buys coming in from both sides.
It is indeed going to be a full buy, and unfortunately for ROGA, they're going to have to get this round if they want to continue getting the big guns into this fight. Nonchalant, on the other hand, opting for a little bit of a spread out buy. You have a Spectre, you've got a Sheriff, kind of a half buy, broken buy type of situation. They're not going all in, so to speak. And in the meanwhile, the Flame trying to peek, trying to get something here, and there is one for a skill. Then to go down, and RMB has to dash away to a different position. Try to get some sort of flank maybe going. The movement tech or the Neon definitely would allow for that, but no, gets caught out by Shadow. The flash out, but gets taken down. Goga finds Lavish on the other side. One tap God taking down Gumbo, but getting taken down by Winedine.
Spike
Is
planted.
happening. The spike is on the floor. In a 3v2 situation, Nonchalant once again looking to do a site retake, but with Winedine already so low on HP, how will they make this work? That is the
Last player standing.
Oh, not well is the answer, as La Flame and Max will get 2 kills back to back. shutting down Nonchalant and extending their lead 9-6.
This is definitely looking like ROG Academy. The way they have kind of like picked up the Asian competition for a double duelist click. It does seems like they are in that mindset of shutting this down, shutting this grand finale, taking the entire tournament for themselves in map number 2. Not I would say not a lot of that probability coming off for the side for ROG Academy that they can actually suppress down, because we have seen them stumble on map number 1 where Nonchalant was able to pick up those round back to back for their side and equalize the entire round scores. But as they have the advantage of map number 1, as they have the pure good amount of rounds to
Spike down mid.
things can definitely go bad for the side of Nonchalant. But in the meanwhile, the spike is going to get down on the middle of the mid section. And definitely the side of defense have that fair bit of advantage if somebody comes up for the flank, and we just have to wait for it.
We just have to wait and see how the side of ROGA manages to recover from that big pick earlier on. That is the omen as well. A lot of side control will no longer be in play, but Max finds RMB on the other side. That's a huge pick as well. The Neon with the movement and the denial with those walls. Here goes Gumbo, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to do much about this as Lavish gets taken.
Spike planted.
Take down the other on the other side.
Last player standing.
The last one of the last ones standing. Caramel takes him down. It's all up to Moga, the Cypher. One player against 4 very hungry attackers. That's a Cypher and Cypher kill there, but gets suppressed and turned vulnerable for just a moment by that incoming wall from the ISO. Possessors just kind of pulled back. See what they can do here. Gets one. That's LaFlame off the board. He's going to jump into that line of sight. Unfortunately, can't do more than that. Max gets the final kill, and with that, it is 10-6. ROGA getting double digits.
Last time around, that was Nonchalant to be on the double digit play for their side for the first time, and this time around it's going to be the side of ROG Academy. So a great turn of events, folks, and great adaptability again for both sides, I would say. I know Nonchalant just able to get 6 rounds from their most of their attacking side, but at this point of time, I gotta shoot both sides of just very convergent on how they can actually counter each other and play on that mindset of just adapting to the whole scenario. Right now it's going to be round number 17, and this is a very crucial round, folks. If ROG wins this one, they're going to be just a couple of rounds away to take this take this grand finale for their team and to get that bragging right for themselves. But for the side of Nonchalant, it's a long road ahead to equalize these guys.
Sleep, brother.
Long road ahead indeed, but Max just comes in, decides, let's home and does very well.
One enemy remaining.
Going down.
Wow!
Down,
fire by Moga. Oh my goodness, what a sheriff play right here from that Cypher. Position delivered to Caramel. Here comes doing suppresses, and everyone decides to peek, and that's going to be the end of the ISO. What a round for the side of Nonchalant, just kind of firing back, saying, hey, you know what? You guys might be double digits up, but we're not out of this just yet. This is our map pick, and we will go down or go up on our own terms. They reduce the lead that ROGA have by 1 round. They are 7-10, still 3 rounds down, and ROGA still only need 3 rounds to win.
Yeah, I'm very much a needed one because the economy was suffering. The economy was drastically on the very bad side for the side.
It's you and me.
To pick up those vandal side. What exactly are you trying to do, LaFlame? Come on, please, come on. There you go. Karam takes on the side of Moga. Moga was the guy to do the heavy lifting in the last round, though. RG Max just not being on the right time to take a note of that work. That connection play. Ren gets the side of RG Max. Take flight on the right. Sova gonna use that drone to get up that little bit of that information. Maybe just he's gonna tap that one. He definitely knows the exact location. The real time location for a second though. But Nonchalant stopping right now on the post plan scenario.
And it's a pretty interesting scenario as well.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my goodness, what a slip and slide in from the Neon, and one and Diane with 2 back-to-back getting the triple kill for themselves in the round, just completely shutting
I've tried
down
explosions.
the attacking
Not a fan.
side. ROG Academy caught unawares, unfortunately, with their hands in the cookie jar, and they will be punished for it. 10 and 8, 2 rounds to go for Nonchalant to equalize.
I mean, at this point of time, I feel like ROG Academy should take that tactical timeout. Don't get me wrong. This is slightly getting slipped away from their side. This particular round should have been the play coming off the side of ROG Academy. They were inside the side. They were definitely on the better positional play compared to what Nonchalant was able to do. But yeah, that was like they're slowly and slightly losing the entire grip. Nowhere to run. Away those rounds of Nonchalant.
Fury out to play as Lavish gets RMB, but Moga fires back, finding Lavish immediately.
Here we go.
Here comes LaFlame from behind. Immediately gets smoked out. Can't quite do their job. And here's the unlimited tower with the finger gun.
One enemy
Manages to
remaining.
get one. Will they get another? Not quite yet.
There we
And
go.
is able to. There's the electricity proving to be too lethal indeed. As that, of course, allows ROG Academy a massive round win, and definitely a much needed one. I think some consideration has to be said to what you said earlier, Bullet, that they might need that tactical timeout, but by refusing to take it, they decided, you know what, let's just go in, let's play ultra aggressive, get right up in their faces, and tell them we're not done yet, folks. And they definitely are not. 11 and 8, back to that 3-round lead, and a well-placed ult by the Neon, which allows them to
Cage
walk
trigger.
behind.
Cage
To kind of
trigger.
just get their momentum back, kind of shut down the little bit that was being gathered by Nonchalant. Double cage up here by Moda. Have to kind of just sit here in the Omen smoke. R&B finds Lavish on the other side.
Nice.
Tripwire triggered and finds LaFlame. His position was given away. Well played indeed. Ren gets one tap gone. It's a little bit of a collapse happening here from the side of ROG Academy. Max, sitting in an Omen smoke, decides to kind of fall back as they stayed in there, and the smoke went down. Well, we know what would have happened. A shot would have been fired. And
A fine death.
registered. Good shot right there.
Last player
Can they
standing.
take another? No, they cannot. Really good attempt right there from the Sova. Unfortunately not to be. It all leaves Caramel, the last one standing. Kind of looking directly at Wine Dine. But the shots fired gives away their position, and they decide to just back up a little bit, giving a little bit of room.
Show me a target.
Here's the double tap shield coming into play.
30
There's
seconds
another
left.
Making
smoke.
cover.
Here's the wall. Shots are fired. Too many bullets in return fire. And that's going to be ROG to pick up the kill. Caramel goes down. And ROG Academy are denied another round. Nonchalant making it 9-11. And there's the tactical timeout.
A very much needed one, don't get me wrong. A very much needed one from the side of ROG Academy. They were on that really, really good advantage of more than half of the rounds coming on their favor. They were 8-4 before the half was swapped. And we did so Nonchalant slowly and steadily trying to make things even and Steven from their side as well. A great play coming off from both of the Neon players. I like to point out both of the players from both of the guys playing with Neon are just doing their absolute best what they can, getting those frags in, getting those overdrive picks as soon as possible. But yes, some of these rounds are getting slipped away from the side of ROG Academy. I have to point it out. Don't get me wrong. But for the side of Nonchalant as well, we do see the overall rotation as they are on the defensive side for the second half. The rotation are coming off at the right time. Yes, if the trades are coming in good, if the frags are getting in place for the side of ROG Academy, they're able to win it. But the entire positional play is most of the time not getting counter out at the right time, at the right place from the side of ROG Academy against the Nonchalant.
It really just comes down
Yeah.
to a case of
All good.
Yeah, it really just comes down to a case of positioning and timing and letting
I'm outta here.
players breathe and see what kind of coordination
That's right.
works. Here's LaFlame trying to dash in once again. Not gonna be able to because of course Recon darts and Cypher tripwires is in play. Ooh,
Show me a
terrible
target.
command
No
on the back
distraction.
line, R&B distracted. And here is, of course, kills on our shot to fire. Caramel almost one, but
Contract complete.
and nearly gets caught out on the teleport back.
Oh,
my
baby!
goodness, the flame steamroll going straight through Moga and Gambo. Of course, leaves them leaves the side of Nonchalant in a little bit of an unfortunate position. The flame, he's kind of just bunny hopping into the crosshairs of the Sova. But there we go. That's the shutdown. That's
Match
the final
point.
kill.
That was-
And folks, that is match point 12-9 to ROG Academy.
That was a mother load of all highlights clip that you can get. Don't get me wrong. That was the mother load. That was what 2 kills comes off from the side of Nonchalant. That is going to be the side of then it's going to be the side of ROG Academy to just shut down La Flame to just go and shut down 2 of the players on the mid areas of the map. Then again, Karam comes up with that ultimate play. That was one hell of a chaotic round coming in from both sides, especially again, just capitalize on all of the
must wait a moment.
adaptability play. That was ROG Academy.
That it was. However, the flame goes down as Ren takes a huge one at that. Carol comes around, finds one guy.
I know
Shots
exactly.
all around as Lavish gets Ren. Here's the Neuro theft coming in, and that's more positions given away for the defenders. They focus right now. And one tap finds Moga. Huge shot being fired, but Gambo takes on Lavish.
Last player standing.
That they very much needed. It's all down to Gambo. The last one to hold this down, to maybe give the team a chance, but no
Attackers
chances
win.
are afforded. Nonchalant will unfortunately lose their map, folks, and ROG Academy, they shall be crowned, these 5 players, as the victors of the Point Out Presents Valorant Clash of Champions. They're going to be the ones walking away with a fantastic prize pool and, of course, the bragging rights to say that another tournament is theirs. And look at that scoreboard right there. Caramel really just popping off with all the kills. Same with ROG, Max, and Lavish. And, of course, fantastic coordination and use of utility. We've been highlighting it all throughout the game, of course. But a game like Valorant, it's always about how you coordinate, how you use those utilities, and how you play your rounds. Really, really well done. Congratulations to ROG Academy. And for Nonchalant, do not take this loss too much to heart, as, of course, you win some, you lose some. Hopefully, we get to see you guys back again and winning another tournament for yourselves in the future. But with that said, Bullet, what are your closing thoughts on what we just saw?
I mean, there was Nonchalant not kind of like being in their very supreme positional play. But because it's a map of sunset, for your defending side, you need to be on the clear set of rotation pathways. You need to be very clear of the fact that when you're getting that intel that, hey, there's going to be someone just heavy pushing towards any of the sides, you need to rotate at the right time. Some of the rotation we're definitely getting in when the second half kind of like started, and some of the positional play were really, really good coming off from the side of Moga and RM, by the way, playing on Neon. But overall, it was more of like the frags being heavy, extensive play frags coming off from the side of ROG Academy. We did saw the side of Cypher getting the maximum number of frags, and which is very unusual because Cypher main role is just Sentinel, playing on the traps, playing on the maximum number of just denying those heavy increase coming off from the attacking side. But overall, ROG Academy did played pretty well compared to what they played on the map of Haven from their side, even though they got the victory on Haven itself too. But overall, this was the better version of the ROG Academy coming off on map number 2 of.
Absolutely agreed. Map number 2, Sunset. RG Academy decided, you know what? We do know this map, all things considered. We know the strats, we know the alleyways, we know what pushes need to happen. And they took what should have been Nonchalant's map and said, this is our game, this is our tournament, and you guys get the hell off our lawn. Well, with all that said, folks, that is going to do it for the Valorant Clash of Champions hosted by Point Out. We've been your hosts, Blackjack and Bullet, and of course, thank you to the fantastic Baba Gusta for joining us in the last couple of days as well. It's been a pleasure to come back to some fantastic Valorant matches, and we hope to see you again in whatever tournaments we do end up lending our voices to. With that said, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to follow all the socials of all the Valorant, accounts and all the Point Out accounts wherever you can for more Valorant news and more tournament news. Until then, we'll be seeing you. Good night.
Y'all sit back and watch me speak. About to take over your screen. Talking bulls in 93. Talking mom, I'm on TV. Y'all know all I do is me. All I do is me. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and all I know, my money green. About to snap and make a scene. My cup off and make this free. My cup off and make them scream. Go back off for TMZ. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Money long, nothing on credit. I got style, don't catch no feelings. All this bread ain't got no lettuce. I got style, don't catch no feelings. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, if it ain't